The American entertainment machine loves one thing more than a superstar: a radical transformation. But no celebrity has ever broken the mold quite as violently as Miley Cyrus. For over a decade, the public has struggled to categorize her. Is she a genius chameleon, a calculated provocateur, or just a former child star fighting to be seen? We've watched her cycle through personas, from saccharine sweetheart to cultural shockwave to authentic rock icon. This is the definitive breakdown of Miley Cyrus's radical reinvention, and what her constant change reveals about our collective need to control famous women. To truly understand Miley, you have to understand the pressure cooker that was Hannah Montana. The job wasn't just a show, it was a global billion-dollar franchise. Her entire identity was molded by the Disney brand, forcing her to live as two people: the blonde, secret pop star and the real girl, Destiny Hope Cyrus. This created an identity crisis with massive financial stakes. Her father, country star Billy Ray Cyrus, was brought on to play her on-screen dad, in part to keep the family unit together during the intense production schedule. But as Miley grew up, the control became suffocating.
I think this is the day that I decided that I was gonna have control over what I was going to wear, because this was a time that I didn't have as much control. And as I started to understand that the magic of Hannah was actually the magic of me, I started infusing my own style into Hannah's style.
By the time her debut album Can't Be Tamed hinted at a darker, more sexualized edge, the audience resisted. They wanted the wig, the giggles, and the fantasy, not the woman standing in front of them. The public's forceful rejection of her initial mild shift taught Miley a powerful lesson. To truly break free, she would have to detonate the entire image, and detonate she did. The Bangers era wasn't a rebranding, it was a statement of artistic demolition. She cut her hair, shaved her sides, and adopted an aesthetic that screamed anything but Disney.
I could never see myself with long hair again. It's so much maintenance, it's so easy, and I just feel so much like more myself.
South party, we can do what we want. It's South party, we can say what we want. It's South party, we can love what we want. We can kiss what we want. We can swim what we want.
The climax was, without question, the 2013 VMAs performance. That night, she didn't just perform. She staged a cultural shockwave that earned her severe backlash. While she saw herself declaring independence through her sexuality and performance, the public and media framed it as a crisis of morality. Critics were quick to engage in slut-shaming, but the deeper, more complex critique focused on cultural appropriation.
This is the scary part. They make you make a movie like right before they film you saying, I, Miley Cyrus, realize sometimes parachutes don't work.
So now you're saying so nothing will scare you anymore?
Nothing can
She was accused of using elements of Southern crunk culture, specifically the dance style twerking, and using women of color as props to create controversy, sustaining her pop career by performing ratchet culture for a mainstream audience.
I don't pay attention to the negative because I've seen this play out so many times. How many times have we seen this play out in pop music? You know now, you know what's happened. Madonna's done it, Britney's done it, every VMA performance, anyone that performs, that's what you're looking for. You're wanting to make history. Me and Robin the whole time said, you know we're about to make history. We're 3 days later and people are still talking about it. They're overthinking it. You're thinking about it more than I thought about it when I did it.
The VMA performance stripped her of her past innocence, but more critically, it exposed the industry's double standard. Her sexual expression was deemed offensive and promiscuous, while male peers were often celebrated for similar provocations. This era was undeniably messy, but it established Miley as a controversial figure who was, for the first time, completely in control of her own spectacle.
Let's talk about the tongue.
Let's talk about the tongue thing. And what started that? And because now you're known as your tongue is out of your mouth.
All right, I don't think I'm going to be able to fit this in my purse. I did find this. So,
after all the chaos and critique, Miley seemed to take a sharp turn back. The Younger Now era was meant to be a reset, a return to a simple country rock aesthetic that celebrated where she came from. It was an attempt to prove she was more than just the shocking performance artist. But the audience, once burned by the Bangers shock, refused to accept this change. She was criticized for attempting to use the authenticity of country music to clean up her image. and was seen as disingenuously retreating from the controversy. This failed return to her good girl persona proved a painful point in her career. Once the public labels you a wild child, you are rarely allowed to retreat to safety. The only way forward was to build something entirely new, something impervious to outside expectation. This brings us to the plastic hearts and endless summer vacation eras. This is the Miley that finally feels truly established and authentic. Her powerful husky voice, always hinting at a rocker's rasp, finally met the music it was meant to sing.
No, I just can't give you up. No, I just can't give you up. You're not a easy lover.
She started covering legends like Metallica and the Cranberries, earning praise from the very music icons she was channeling. The success of Flowers was the critical piece of this mature reinvention.
I decided I'm going to do everything I want to do and save Wrecking Ball for last because they're not going to kick me off before Wrecking Ball.
That is so smart.
You see? I'm a master manipulator.
It's a flawless anthem of self-love and independence that functioned as a final statement to her long-term ex-husband. The song cemented her persona as a woman who has found self-worth outside of a relationship narrative. Miley Cyrus finally stopped reacting to her past and started creating her own future, finding true confidence in her raw, artistic power. So where is Miley Cyrus now in the cultural landscape of 2025? She is no longer a polarizing figure. She is an established icon whose credibility is undeniable. Two major events define this final chapter of acceptance and cement her legacy. First, her continued artistic excellence was recognized when she won her third Grammy, a cross-genre duet with Beyoncé. This ultimate stamp of approval shattered any lingering critique about her artistic legitimacy. Second, and perhaps more importantly, she was formally named a Disney legend in 2024. Think about that.
In reality, I was a little girl in a blonde wig at the mall with a big dream, but in my heart, I was Hannah Montana. And I was so proud to be.
The child star who violently rejected her image was finally honored by the institution she once felt caged by. This symbolic gesture officially closes the door on the Hannah Montana struggle, allowing her to own both the past and the present. Miley followed this definitive closure with her 9th album, Something Beautiful, a highly experimental visual album described as a psychedelic concept piece influenced by Pink Floyd's The Wall. This proves she is no longer focused on mainstream chart conquest, but on artistic legacy and self-exploration. Miley has reached a point of authentic, fearless freedom, and the world is finally watching the artist, not the controversy. Miley Cyrus didn't just change her hair or her clothes. She ripped up her contract with Hollywood and reinvented the terms of her own fame. She survived the Disney cage and the cultural critique, emerging as a singular, powerful artist who continues to defy expectation. The lesson: a star's transformation is rarely for the audience. It's often a desperate battle for the self. Which era of Miley do you think was her most authentic? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this deep dive into Miley Cyrus's complex transformation fascinating, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to ring that bell notification so you never miss our next exclusive breakdown of Hollywood's biggest icons.